Hi everyone, I'm back. And for the next 2 weeks, I plan on doing some short videos on where I'll be discussing cognitive distortions. So cognitive distortions were conceptualized by Dr. David Burns, who much of his work was based off of Aaron Beck's research. And Aaron Beck was the first to uncover the potential influences of distorted thinking. So when I'm talking about cognitive distortions, there are 10 elements involved that I'll be going over briefly for each video in the coming weeks. So these all include should statements, which I'll be talking about today, personalization or blame, emotional reasoning, magnification or catastrophizing, fortune telling, all or nothing thinking, overgeneralization, mental filtering, disqualifying the positive, and mind reading. So they sound pretty interesting, don't they? So cognitive distortions, or errors in thinking, are irrational thought patterns that negatively distort our perception of reality. They play a vital position in maintaining our psychopathological states, such as depression or anxiety, and these maladaptive thought patterns tend to be automatic and can be difficult to identify if we aren't aware of them. So today I will talk to you about should statements. Are your shoulds stressing you out? Are they keeping your life anxious? Are the shoulds keeping you from practicing compassionate self-care? Shoulds sound like, I should never make mistakes. I should have a super clean house. I should always look put together. I should exercise every day. I should be happy. I shouldn't be feeling anxious. I should already know how to do that. I should say yes whenever people ask me for help. I should keep my needs to myself. I should keep my emotions to myself. I should be organized. Whoa. I can feel my own anxiety rising just reading these. I should statements are opening acts to limiting our beliefs. Our should statements have the power to get us totally stuck. So I'm going to try today to help you free yourself from the shoulds. When we're using words like should, we're putting expectations on ourselves that come from somewhere else and therefore are not based on reality. And they can generate a lot of emotional turmoil, and they arise from extreme expectations and unhealthy social norms. When we use should statements, we're setting ourselves up for failure and can lead to feelings of guilt and frustration with ourselves and with others, keeping us trapped in very negative thought patterns. Should statements are a reflection of the unrealistic standards and rigid rules we hold ourselves to, and can contribute to feelings of fear and worry, and can often cause further anxiety and frustration. They also put unreasonable demands and pressure on ourselves, which can make us feel guilty or like we have failed. So how do we tackle these should statements? I know you're asking me. So here are a few suggestions to help you get out of the should trap. Recognize the should statement is the first thing. Often these statements have become so rooted that we don't even notice that we're saying them. So the first step is to become actively aware of what we are saying to ourselves. Ask yourself if the statement is true. Will it always be true? Are there exceptions to the rule? Step back from racing thoughts and look at how true they are or not. So another suggestion to combat those shoulds is to be kind to yourself. When we're using should statements, we're focusing on the negative and ignoring reality. Practice self-compassion to better manage your expectations and to shift your thinking. Write down your should statement and then rewrite the should statement in a more positive and actionable manner, okay? So rephrase that statement as a goal and list tangible ways that you can make progress. So another suggestion to combat the shoulds is rewind the thought by challenging and reframing it. So who says you should be doing or not doing something? Is it true? What would happen if you didn't or you did? When we're able to replay the thought with a bit more perspective and self-compassion, we can change our should statements to something more balanced and productive. Pretend you're speaking to a friend. We tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves than the people we love. So try extending yourself the same courtesy as you would a friend. Another great tip to combat the shoulds is to pick one of your most common should statements. Okay? Now change that should statement to a could statement. Does it feel any different? It's amazing the impact small adjustments can make. The way that we see ourselves and the world in shoulds can make a big impact on our well-being, on how well we live our lives, and how we care or don't care for ourselves. Because over time, we start viewing those shoulds as principles or rules that we must follow, which just isn't the case sometimes. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and keep an eye out next week where I'll be posting my second video on cognitive distortions. I'll be discussing personalization and blame. So until next time, remember, I will not should on myself today. Bye.